Alright, magandang araw na naman mga bay. Ito na naman po si Bert at sabi ko nga sa episode na to ay pag-uusapan natin in detail yung capability and capacity ng Brahmos missile ng India. Ay welcome po sa Bert Talks Daily. At ngayon ay pag-uusapan natin yung Brahmos nga. Sabi pa nga dito sa ating ni-research sa Wikipedia, ito yung Brahmos, no? Kung tingnan natin yung detalye, sabi pa nga dito yung Brahmos is also designated as PJ-10. It's a medium-range stealth ramjet supersonic cruise missile that can be launched from submarines, ships, aircraft, or land, notably being the fastest supersonic cruise missile in the world. So ibig sabihin, hindi basta-basta na missile tong Brahmos kasi it was tagged as the fastest supersonic cruise missile in the world. Kaya nga, kinakatakutan ng China kasi baka nga malusutan sila at yun yung bagay na hindi nila gusto, no? Kasi yun na nga, ang Brahmos is napaka-powerful na missile. It is a joint venture between India Defense Research and Development Organization or DRDO and the Russian Federation's NPO Machinostrania, who together have formed Brahmos Aerospace. It is based on the Russian P-800 Onyx supersonic anti-ship cruise missile. The name Brahmos is a portmanteau formed from the names of two rivers, the Brahmaputra of India and the Moskva of Russia. It is claimed to be the world's fastest ship cruise missile currently in operation. So, napakabilis nga talaga ng Brahmos. So, kung tingnan natin yung mapang to, ito yung China, ito yung Taiwan, ito yung Hainan ng China, at ito naman yung Pilipinas. Kung tingnan natin in detail, no? Yung Pilipinas, malapit lang sa Vietnam, malapit din sa Taiwan, at malapit din sa China. Pero yung contested area nandito yung Spratlys. So kung titingnan natin, yung Spratlys mas malapit sa Pilipinas kumpara sa Vietnam. Yung Spratlys ay malapit sa Pilipinas kumpara sa China. Ito yung pinakamalapit na probinsya ng China, yung Hainan, no? So pinag-aagawan to. So ngayon, ang dali lang pasukin ng China ang Pilipinas kung gugusto nila. Kasi wala tayong missile defense system. Alright? So yun yung first step ng Philippine government under the Duterte administration na bumili o bibili ng Brahmos missile nang galing sa India. At ito naman yung India. Sa pagkakaalam natin, may conflict at dispute din ang India at saka yung China. Itong area na to, yung border between India and China, pinagtatalunan. Ano? So, kung sabaga, may animosity na between India and China. Kaya nga since ang China is nuclear armed, ang India rin, inarmahan yung sarili nila ng armas nuklear. So pata sila, parehong mga nuclear armed countries sa Asia. So ganun din ang Pakistan, ano? So ngayon, may mga military assets yung India na abot kayang bilhin ng Pilipinas. Halimbawa na lang yung Brahmos, pang depensa. So pag nailagay to kasi ang pagkakalam ko shore-based Ibig sabihin, yung nasa land ang mamando nun sa Brahmos batteries are the Philippine Marines. So kahit pa ilagay sa Palawan o somewhere in Luzon, pwede magagamit to. Supersonic kasi, napakabilis na ma-hit yung target sa sobrang bilis. So ito yung itsura ng Brahmos. So gawang India in partnership with Russia. So yung teknolohiya niya, yung technology is Russian and Indian in one missile. So yun na nga. So, strategically, ang Pilipinas ay nalagay sa disadvantage nga kasi nga wala tayong pangdepensa. Pag ma-acquire natin yung Brahmos, pwedeng i-install yung Brahmos sa Luzon and Palawan areas para naman mag-counter natin yung kung may masama mang balak yung China against the Philippines. So, ang tanong, can the Philippines Brahmos missiles really deter China? Pwede bang ma mahinto o mapigil ng Pilipinas yung plano ng China kung ano man against us, especially sa ating mga teritoryo? Well, babasahin natin. After much chatter going back to 2019, it is finally a done deal. Earlier this month, the Philippines, it was written this year lang, January 27, 2022, during still the administration of then President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. So hindi pa pumasok yung administrasyon ni Bongbong Marcos. Earlier this month, the Philippines announced that it had inked an agreement worth $375 million to procure the Indo-Russian Brahmos anti-ship missile and its supporting assets. The mainstream argument is that the supersonic weapon will improve Manila's anemic defense capabilities, especially as the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, increasingly faces up to the Chinese military juggernaut. Making an observation along this line, one commentator noted that the Brahmos would provide a stiff deterrent to Beijing's assertiveness in the South China Sea. Similarly, another observer argues that having the Brahmos will significantly supplement the defense capabilities of the Philippines by enabling it to strike seaborne or surface targets at a considerable distance from its shores. So magagamit natin against any possible invasion or an attack. Kung titingnan natin yung mapa, ito yung lupa o lupain, yung isla ng Luzon. Ito naman yung Palawan. Most probably dito yan sa areas ng Luzon at Palawan ilalagay. Kasi sila yung facing China and South China Sea or the West Philippine Sea. So, ika nga yung China takot talaga sa Brahmos na magsilbing pangdepensa o gwardya ng Pilipinas. Ano? Sabi nga dito sa isang article, on January 28, 2022, India signed a $375 million Brahmos supersonic cruise missiles deal with the Philippines. The deal was signed in the direction that this was the first time that a contract has been signed with any country to export the 290 kilometers range Brahmos missiles developed by India in collaboration with Russia. According to the report, the Philippines will get 3 batteries of a shore-based anti-ship system of non-nuclear Brahmos cruise system, in addition to training and logistical support. So, itong klaseng Brahmos ito, hindi to design para magkarga ng nuclear warhead. In the first place, wala tayo niyan. Okay? Pero missile siya na pwedeng makadeter, ibig sabihin, maka-discourage at hindi na lang tutuloy. Kasi magdadalawang isip yung sino mang bansa na may pinaplano o binabalak na hindi maganda. Halimbawa, papasukin yung ating mga isla. So, magdadalawang isip na ngayon ng China kasi magkakaroon na tayo ng Brahmos. Maliban sa pagbili, may additional training. Yung mismo yung magmaman. Halimbawa, sa pagkakalam ko, yung Marines, yung gagawa nito. They will be the ones in charge in operating and of course making the system functional by way of them getting exposed through training and even logistical support. So the deal has strategic significance in the context of balancing the power struggle in the Indo-Pacific region, as the Brahmos is jointly made by the Indian defense giant DRDO and the Russian state-owned company with 50.05% and 49.05% stakes respectively. So, eto, gawa ng India in collaboration with Russia. Yung Russian technology embedded dyan sa Brahmos. So, hindi naman tayo basta-basta na makakabili lang kung walang authorization ng Russia. Kasi ganun yan partnership ng dalawang bansa na gumawa ng isang bagay, halimbawa itong armas na to, hindi pwedeng magdidesisyon yung India without the concurrence or approval of Russia. So ibig sabihin, approved yung Russia sa pagbili natin ng Brahmos. So medyo yung China ngayon? Medyo nagdadalawang isip ngayon. Kung matutuloy to, sana nga matuloy, no? So kung tingnan natin, ang tanong, what is Brahmos? Ano ba talaga yung Brahmos? Ano bang meron sa Brahmos? It's a supersonic cruise missile that can be fired from submarines. We don't have that. Ships, we have. Aircraft, we also have a little. Or land, marami tayong lupa na pwedeng paglalagyan ng Brahmos. Ang talagang babantayan natin is it will be located somewhere na hindi madaling ma-detect. So sila na yung bahala niyan, no? May pag-aaral na gagawa nila kung saan yung pinaka-strategic place na ilagay yung Brahmos. Kasi pag malaman niyan China, pag malaman ng China kung saan, they will do the first strike if they intend to invade the Philippines. Ano? Ayaw ng China na maunahan sila. So that's why we need to put or install this batteries of missiles na sa mga places na hindi talaga madaling malocate. Ano? So kung tingnan natin, napabalita, ang daming balita sa internet that China feared India's Brahmos missiles. Sabi pa, indeed, the Brahmos cruise missile is stealthy, fast, and extremely difficult to shoot down. Napakabilis at talagang mahihirapan yung China na i-shoot down to. Ibig sabihin, hindi nila basta-basta ma-counter yung Brahmos na to dahil sa bilis. It also has become a point of contention in a complicated web of overlapping alliances between India, China, Russia, and potentially Vietnam. Kasi hindi lang ang Pilipinas ang nagkaka-interes ng Brahmos. Tingnan nga natin dito. Brahmos missile. 6 global customers are vying for Indo-Russian supersonic missiles. The Philippines likely to be the first. Tayo sa Pilipinas ang mauunang makabili at mag-install ng Brahmos. So may iba pang mga countries na interesado rin na bumili at gumamit nito. So India's Brahmos supersonic cruise missile, co-developed in collaboration with Russia, is one of the very few indigenous weapons that has attracted global attention and whose deployment has seriously concerned adversaries. So medyo nagulantang at medyo nataranta yung mga bansang hindi kaalyado. Kung sa mga bansang matatawag natin na kaaway din ng India. So, bakit? Kasi nga hindi na lang ngayon India ang threat sa China. Kasi pag naibenta to ng India sa mga kalapit bansa ng China, ay mapapalibutan yung China. Kung titingnan natin halimbawa, sabi nga dito there had been continuous reports of Southeast Asian nations like the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia as potential buyers of Brahmos missiles. As per the latest reports, the Philippines could soon acquire Brahmos supersonic cruise missiles as the country has allocated funds for the planned acquisition of a shore-based anti-ship weapons system. So, hindi lang Pilipinas ang nagkaka-interest nito. So, sabi nga, Vietnam, Indonesia, o tsaka yung Thailand, no? Nagka-interest din. So, halimbawa, kung tingnan natin, i-zoom out natin. Ito yung India. Taka lang. Okay. Ito yung India. May pinag-aagawan sila na teritoryo dito. Yung China at India. Alright? Ang Pilipinas may pinag-aagawan din between Philippines and China atong Spratlys at Scarborough Shoal. Ang ganun din ang Vietnam. May yung Paracel Islands pinag-aagawan din ng China at Vietnam. So hindi in good terms talaga yung Vietnam at China. Ganun din ang Pilipinas. So anytime pwede mag-spark yung kaguluhan just in case na bigla ang pumasok using force, no, yung China sa any of our territories. So sa ngayon wala tayong defense system kagaya ng offensive, hindi lang defense kundi offensive weapon against any foreign invaders. Now, pag halimbawa hindi lang ang Pilipinas ang may dispute with China, ang yung Indonesia. Ang Indonesia ay alam naman natin na pag may Chinese na barko na papasok dito sa kanilang teritoryo ay pinapalubog ni Widodo. May mga armas kasi yung Indonesia mas powerful kaysa sa Pilipinas, no, yung Indonesian Navy. Sa ngayon ay medyo nag-a-acquire ng kagamitan yung Philippine Navy natin. Pero mas sa ngayon mas establish yung defense capability ng Indonesian Navy. So ngayon, halimbawa matutuloy yung pagbili ng Pilipinas ng Brahmos at install dito sa area na to. At yung Vietnam, bibili din ng Brahmos at yung Indonesia. Yung India mayroon ng Brahmos, sa kanila nang galing yun eh. So mapapalibutan ngayon ang China na mga countries with the Brahmos missiles which could potentially counter the balance of power sa Southeast Asia and the Asian region, the continent itself, lalo na itong sa Southeast Asia and the Far East, no? At saka ito sa Indian subcontinent ay magiging uncomfortable yung China kung mapapalibutan siya ng mga countries na armed with supersonic cruise missile, yung Brahmos. Nagkaka-interes ang Vietnam at they have that intention to also buy. Nauna lang yung Pilipinas. So pag mayroong Brahmos dito sa Pilipinas, mayroong Brahmos dito sa Vietnam, mayroong Brahmos sa Thailand at Indonesia, hindi na siguro basta-basta na lang na papasok o mag-flex ng muscle ang China kung napapalibutan siya ng mga countries na armed with Brahmos missile, the fastest cruise missile in the world, faster than any of those available in the United States or Europe. Okay? So, sa tanong na pwede bang ma-stop o mapigil ng China using their SAMs or surface-to-air missiles, how effective is Brahmos against Chinese ship-based surface-to-air missiles? Yun yung ibig sabihin ng SAM. Okay? So, alimbawa, atong mga missiles ng China, Hongqi 7, Red Flag 7, FM7. Sample. Yung HQ-7 is a short-range surface-to-air missile developed by the China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation. It became the People's Liberation Army Navy, or PLAN's standard short-range SAM in this 1990s. It has gotten 8 cell launchers and reload units where missiles are stored in multiples of 8. So ang tanong dito, is it capable to stop yung Brahmos? Ito yung kasagutan. But there are chances if Brahmos is launched from very near them, its early detection is possible and an expert crew on Type 054 can intercept Brahmos even if its chances are less. But the chances exist. So minimal, napakaliit lang ng chance na ma-stop ng Hongqi 7 na surface-to-air missile ng China. Napakaliit ng chance na ma-stop niya yung Brahmos. Ito naman, yung Hongqi 16. Sa tanong na ma-stop ba ng Hongqi 16 ang Brahmos, ito sabi dito, the terminal velocity of supersonic Brahmos Block 1 is Mach 2.8. Block 2 is even higher. But the terminal speed of HQ-26 is just Mach 2. So mas mabilis pa rin yung Brahmos kesa sa HQ-26. Brahmos flies at an altitude of just 10 meters. This missile can't intercept targets flying below 10 meters that much effectively. Its hit probability against cruise missiles is questionable. So questionable pa rin kung matatamaan ng nasabing SAM or surface-to-air missile ng China ang Brahmos. Okay? Sa Hongqi 9, ano bang chances ng Hongqi 9 na ma-stop o matamaan yung Brahmos? Is it capable of shutting down the Brahmos? It says here the maximum probability of killing Brahmos is at the range of 25 to 30 kilometers. This is Rangido, where mostly terminal phases of this missile is activated. The terminal phase is highly maneuverable, and owing to that, it may take steep down towards its target and being guided by the onboard active radar. The HHQ-9 thus have a high probability to kill Brahmos. So may tsansa na matamaan yung Brahmos, may tsansa. Pero meron pa rin tsansa na hindi, no? So mostly makikita natin yung mga missile system ng China, mahihirapan talaga na matamaan yung Brahmos. Okay? So yun, so far, nakita natin na although may missile defense system or may surface-to-air missiles yung China na pwedeng i-counter sa Brahmos, but chances are very slim kasi nga base sa speed and ability ng Brahmos ay mahirap tamaan. So yun nga ang rason bakit ang China ay takot sa presensya ng Brahmos sa mga bansa lalo na sa Pilipinas na kagirian ng China sa mga teritoryo nito o sa mga teritoryo na nandyan sa West Philippine Sea. Again, there's that fear of the Brahmos missile system na kinakatakutan talaga ng China. Kaya ayaw ng China na makabili ang Pilipinas ng Brahmos pero wala silang magawa kasi hindi nila pwedeng diktahan yung India. At ang India naman, kung titingnan natin, is advantageous sa kanya kasi hindi lang halimbawa in the event of a war between India and China at saka yung conflict between some Southeast Asian countries and China, halimbawa magkasabay, hindi na ganun kalaking problema ng India kasi may Brahmos system na ang Southeast Asia na pwedeng pang-counter sa China. Habang sila ay may sariling conflict. So, ganun na lang ang takot ng China sa possibility na maka-acquire hindi lang ang Pilipinas ng Brahmos kundi ito yung Indonesia, yung Vietnam primarily, and Thailand. And who knows, maybe pati na rin yung Malaysia. So yun ang mga probabilities of any possible eventualities. So we are not really wanting war, but we are just preparing for war. It is better to be prepared than never prepared at all. So isa to yung pag-acquire ng Brahmos na magiging deterrence ng Pilipinas against any possible foreign invaders na posibleng papasok o aagaw sa ating mga teritoryo. So mag-iiba yung landscape, yung balance of power sa Asia na dominated currently by China. So dito lang muna tayo sa usaping patungkol sa Brahmos system o Brahmos cruise missile system, the fastest cruise missile in the world na ina-acquire ng Pilipinas at ibang ASEAN countries. Sa muli, ito po si Bert sa ating Bert Talks Daily. Hanggang sa susunod natin talakayan, God bless.